Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium. And today we're going to be talking about politics because really and truly, holy effing right? So today is February 29th. I think it's Thursday. I've done 2 videos, political videos. Yeah, I did them. You have not seen them because I couldn't publish them because the energy was so strong. The first video, I was basically spitting nails at the screen. I couldn't even rewatch it myself. I knew that I was really a little too upset to have done that video because the energy's been particularly hard. And I think a lot of us have expecting bad news. Like it just felt like impending doom, especially if you're an empath or you're connected to energy in any way. You might have just been feeling particularly like, oh, something bad is going to happen. I don't feel well. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Well, we deserve all that because we've been through quite a bit. But the second video I didn't publish because news was moving faster than I was. And I had to go in and edit some things that I said too much from my spirit guides. So if you're new here, I am channeling my spirit guides, 60% spirit guides, 40% Susan. I could channel them 100%. And, I don't know, we might get to that at some point. But the spirit guides particularly like the human component because they feel like it gets the message across more. But what that means is Susan is left with 40% trying to translate what they're telling me and make it into human palatable information. Okay. And that leaves my energy to get involved, right? So 40% of me is a lot. It's a lot, y'all. So that's kind of what happened. So today I want to talk about what's going on. We just heard that Mitch McConnell is stepping down. Hallelujah. That's really, really good news. Not until November. I mean, come on, Mitch, really. And this is the energy that we're in overall that I will talk about because look, I can predict things. I can tell you what the spirit guides are saying. But honestly, the bigger picture is more important because if you understand the bigger picture, when things happen, like for instance, the Supreme Court saying, oh yeah, we're gonna hear this case of Trump being immune to criminal offenses. If you read the actual case that they're taking, it's not just immune to being prosecuted or immune to presidential decisions, right? So what Trump was saying was presidents have to make hard decisions. So maybe Obama made the decision to have a drone take out a leader that we thought was a terrorist. That was a hard decision. Could that be seen as potentially even an international war crime, right? Could that be seen as a crime in our American United States? Where is the line? Where is the line that presidents can act within the scope of their power representing the United States as the president? Well, in his particular case that the Supreme Court has agreed to hear, it literally says criminal offenses. What is criminal? So in a way, you guys, this is not the worst thing. We do need to know because part of our problem here is that some of these things were customs or traditions, and they weren't specifically letter by letter in black and white, clearly stated in the Constitution or the amendments. Also, that document is quite old. And, so take 2A for an example, the Second Amendment. They were shooting muskets. We're shooting AR-15s that can shoot out, so many bullets. The order of magnitude, completely different environment now than it was then. And what the guides told you and me, and I'm saying this right now, it pisses me off. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So that's why I couldn't do those videos because I get so mad. And I know you're mad too. I do these videos to help you. So I'm just going to tell you, in the past, the spirit guide said dissolution. I did not understand what they were saying. This was 6 or 8 months ago. They kept saying dissolution, dissolving. Honey, we are dissolving right now. Our dissolving. This country's dissolving, right? Isn't it? Here we are. We have an ex-president who is a traitor having his case heard before the Supreme Court of the United States. to decide whether or not a president can be immune to criminal actions. Where's the line? We're getting an opportunity to redress, to go back and look and make new decisions for the 21st century. I do not see, and I have never seen, Trump getting immunity. I've never seen this. The SCOTUS, the Supreme Court, they have power too. And the only reason they have power is because the separation of the powers. They're not going to give up their power, not even Republicans, not even, there's not enough of them that have been bought off by Russia or other bad actors to do this. There's not enough of them. There are a few, not enough. Is it close? Yes. Is the name of this really bad horror movie that we've been watching like called Cliffhanger from Hell? That's the name of it, because everything is going to get to the edge. We get to the edge of a government shutdown, and then, oh, no, we're not going to do a government shutdown. You know, we get to the edge of everything, and then magically it doesn't happen. It's bad for our tickers. You know what I mean? It's bad for our energy. It's bad for America. It's bad for Americans. It's great for an entity, a country that wants to sow division, that wants to sow chaos, that wants Americans to believe that their democracy isn't working. It's broken. It's broken. Doesn't represent me. Therefore, I'm going to make it broke more. I'm going to vote uncontested. I'm going to show y'all, right? So this is where we are. So I don't see the Supreme Court throwing democracy under the bus, but I do see them dragging their feet and dragging the clock out so that Trump cannot be held accountable before the election. Yes, I do. I see that. You see it. It's happening. It's happening. And because they have a majority, they can do it. So they are going to, the words the guides are saying is torpedo the opportunities to try cases against Trump. Now, before you get mad, spit your coffee out, throw something at the screen. Don't do that. I did that all week for you. I am, like in my recent Wisdom on Wednesdays video, I told everybody I'm your spiritual crash test dummy. I'm also your political crash test dummy. I go first. And you don't see me for a week. Just know I'm hiding under my bed or throwing things. I do it for you. Now you don't have to. So here's the thing. It doesn't matter. Now I am channeling, and I swear to God, when they say these things, it makes me mad. But anyway, it doesn't matter because, hear me out, because E. Jean Carroll has destroyed this man, destroyed him. Finito, game over. She's destroyed his family. She's destroyed his family business. She's destroyed his reputation, his respect. And eventually, this energy will destroy his mental cognition, is what they just said, and his health, meaning his ticker. I'm not wishing anybody, I'm reading the teleprompter from the spirit guides. That's all I'm doing here. E. Jean Carroll is a Trump killer. That sounds very crazy. But anyway, believe me when I say it's true. It doesn't matter. The guides have always told you he's never going to do jail time. If he is, he's going to be locked up in the Gitmo, the Guantanamo Bay special room, with the blinking McDonald's light in the window. It isn't real. It's just a TV screen. And he's going to have unlimited ketchup that he can squirt at the walls. And that's going to be his life. And he's going to be real happy about it. He's going to still think he's president because he has mental cognition decline. And it is accelerating. All this is going to accelerate really quickly in the next 3 to 4 months. So I've never seen, not from day one of this channel, have I ever seen him winning another presidency. I've also never seen him being alive or cognitively, why do they want to say his screws are loose? That's not what I'm saying right now. His screws are, okay, so I've never seen It doesn't even make sense in a sentence. Like they just throw the words in. Humans have sense structure. Screw doesn't. Okay, I have to restructure the sentence. His screws are loose. Therefore, 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 he's not going to be capable of being a president. You know, like that's what they did. 5 or 6 videos. They were like, he's going to be in the corner. Okay. So I'm not worried about that. I'm honestly, am I worried? I mean, I'm channeling. So I'm saying like I'm them. I'm not worried. And I just want to take a moment because Susan is worried. But anyway, I'm just gonna like keep it real here and say, am I worried? Hell, yes, I'm worried. Hell, effing, yes, I'm worried. Right. I have no fingernails. Right. Okay. It's all good. I can do it. I need a grounding crystal. I need a whole bunch of shit stuffed right down up in here. I got my amethyst. Y'all, I'm wearing amethyst. This is everywhere. Nature's tranquilizer. I always wear my amethyst ring. Nature's tranquilizer right here. Okay. Men that don't have bras, I got nothing for you. I'd be careful if you put something like that in your boxers. All right. Here's the thing. I'm going back to I don't care. I think I do care, but okay, we're going to just say whatever they say. Because they're like, get a grip, Susan. They literally said, get a grip, Susan. Do you know what happens when you tell a woman to calm down? Because they don't. Okay. It doesn't matter because Trump is out, you guys. He really, truly is out. This part of this bad movie is not the main plot line. It's this really brilliant plot line that they've created to keep us, like going over this way. Meanwhile, the monster's over here about to kick us in our booty. It's a distraction, sadly. So, okay, Trump is out. Let's just assume that that's the case for the minute. And let's assume, because I'm seeing it right now, that Trump's cases are also slowed down to the degree that they might as well be out. Do you remember they're showing me Chutkin when Chutkin said, I'm going to just stall this case. I'm going to put this case on ice until I know what's going on, right? So that's kind of what I see is these judges saying, well, now that the Supreme Court is ruling on the immunity, like I can't charge him federally with crimes because we don't know if we can charge him federally with crimes. I know you guys just fainted. I don't know. You grab the Tums, do whatever you got to do. So here's the thing. That's fine. I still don't think that's fine, but that's what they're saying. That's fine. Now let's stay on track. So here's the thing. We still have Fani Willis in Atlanta. We still have states. States, I believe, can still charge him. So this really affects the federal cases, not the state cases. And there's a lot of state cases that are happening. We have Fani Willis in Atlanta. Now, right now, the other thing that really irritated me last week was watching the case of Fani Willis being tried, basically, to see if she should be removed from the case against Trump with the fake electors in Atlanta. Now, the problem with that energy when I was looking at that was that the judge really does seem to favor removing her. It's clear in his actions, it's clear in his energy. Now, what happened was, energetically, for entertainment purposes only, Trump and his cronies got involved in this case with Wade, with Fani's one-time boyfriend, being a prosecutor for her. They got involved in this. And I'm going to use the word honeypotted. They elicited information from one of Wade, that's Fani Willis's ex-boyfriend, one of Wade's good friends, who was also his law partner. And this guy was texting all kind of salacious information to this woman who turns out to be an attorney and who turns out to be an attorney for the opposition, for Wade's ex-wife, and there's connection to Trump's lawyers there. Now, this guy, was just apparently potentially just trying to like chat up a woman and have something interesting to say to maybe get a date. This is the energy that I saw. And then after he realized the trap that had been set for him that he fell into, he backtracked his whole story, got on the stand, and said, everything I said to you was speculation. It was just BS, basically man talk. That did blow up a lot of the evidence that they had against Fani Willis. This is the day, I think today's the day before they're going to decide whether she's off the case. Look, you guys, I can't guarantee anything. I think she's going to be on the case. I can't guarantee it. There's no 100% here. Nothing is right. Nothing is lawful. And look, this has been, the guides are saying, look, your country, I don't know why they dig in on the United States, but they're like, your country, go back to the inception of your country. Was it really lawful? I mean, some humans were not all human. So, you know what I mean? Like, we have a pretty horrible track record on justice in a lot of ways. Okay. So they just want to say that in a way, this is hyperbole, because this kind of injustice that's been had against Fani Willis has happened to a lot of people in the courtrooms on a day-by-day, hour-by-hour basis. Justice is not equal. It's not meted out equally. It's unequal. Okay, so, so they're saying this is not some one-off thing. Okay, it just so happens that the person that this unequal justice is being applied to is someone whom represents justice to a lot of you and your viewers. Okay. See how they make you mad? You see how they make you mad? Can you imagine living with this in your life, in your head? A bad marriage. Okay. So anyway, I can't guarantee that she's not going to get thrown off, but it doesn't matter. Again, they go again. It doesn't matter because E. Jean Carroll has already ruined him. She's already ruined him. He has nothing. He has no money. He has no respect. Tarnished, ruined, gone, finito. All these other things are icing on that cake. And I love cake enough where I can eat it without icing, right? I mean, I love icing, but I can eat cake without icing if I need to. So I don't think they're going to throw Fani off. I don't think so. But there is about a 5, maybe 8, 10% chance that they will. There really is. And then in their mind, they've done it, right? They've defamed the state Atlanta. They've defamed the federal government against Trump. And in their crooked, crazy mind, they think Trump is now free to do a victory lap and win the election. Honey, he ain't going to win no election. He ain't going to win no election. These people are crazier than he is. That's saying something. Not going to win. The problem is, remember what the spirit guides just said. This movie director has got us focused on Trump. Trump is the distraction. The problem is that we've got people in the United States that are dissatisfied with government. Some of them are MAGAs. Some of them are Republicans that don't have a home, a political home. Some of them are Democrats that feel like they don't have a political home. And we got to pull it together. We got to pull it together, because meanwhile, the reason we're in this position is because of what the spirit guides would call these microaggressions. Microaggressions. Really, it's because the United States has been in a terrible relationship with a narcissist. And the narcissist is the Republican Party. They gaslight us. They bully us. They're terrible. And we've allowed that. We've been complicit in allowing them to be bullies and to gaslight us. How have we done that? Well, we said, okay, well, the court ruled that Gore didn't win. I guess we're just, okay, go back to, they're showing me Reagan with Iran-Contra. Oh, well, all right, well, okay. So then we go forward to Hillary. oh, well, that was really terrible that the Russians gave the a whole election to Trump. Complicit. We're complicit. We allow this, and it's going to stop. Now, whatever planet, because I can't remember right now whether it's Pluto, I don't know, but something is going to go into Aquarius that's going to change our energy. That is going to happen. It did happen, but now it's backtracked back into Capricorn, which is giving us this opportunity one more time. Spirit is saying, you don't flunked a whole bunch of lessons, but because we like you, we're going to give you another test. You're going to flunk this one? We don't care. Because after this, it's pencils down. This is what they told me, and I did not understand what they were talking about. Well, this is what they're talking about. We get another opportunity to see how dastardly these people are, to see how the Supreme Court is basically running roughshod over citizens' freedoms. And when the Supreme Court's not doing it, states are doing it. States are saying, we're not going to listen to the Supreme Court. We don't care. Make us. The Supreme Court is saying, we don't care what Americans want. Make us. Everybody's gone rogue. So this is our lesson. Our lesson is bully energy. Putin is a bully. Netanyahu's a bully. Hamas is a bully. All these people, China, bully us. China steals designers' designs, copyrights, trademarks, reproduces them for nothing, and then sells them back to us. And all this is being allowed because it's just so hard to deal with. It's not easy to solve. But really, the problem is, and this is why I was so angry last week or this week, the problem is we've got these Democrats, and this is why the uncontesteds are voting uncontested, because Democrats are saying, well, we have to follow the rules. We have to do things a certain way. And, they really didn't mean it when they shut the government down, and they didn't, what? Okay. Our problem is we have people in the House and in the Senate that have been there so long that they believe the only way to change things is the same way they've been dealing with things for the past 20, 30, 40 years. And meanwhile, the Republicans are using ways that just got developed last year. The opponents are unmatched. This is not a good match. So what's going to happen is, I think Fani Willis. Now, there's something else that they said to me a while back that I didn't understand. Like, I get this stuff, but it doesn't make sense until I'm living it. And so, what good does it do to know in advance? But anyway, Atlanta is ground zero. What they said was Atlanta's ground zero. At the time, I took that to mean Fani Willis was going to, because remember, Fani Willis said, I'm going to take down Trump, but also these unnamed co-conspirators. Right? There were other people she was going after, attorneys. She got them to flip on each other. She got the fake electors to flip on each other. She's really done an amazing job down there of holding a lot of people accountable, which is why they're going after her. She's a very big threat. Judge Cannon is over there twirling her hair or something. I don't know what she's doing. Jack Smith is getting held up by SCOTUS. Fani Willis is being held up by this trap that they set for her. So this is what's going on. But it's not going to work because these Congress people are still going to be held accountable. They're still going to be held accountable to any crimes or laws that they broke. So what you might see is Fani Willis and Jack Smith switching to start investigating these Congress people. Now, the Spirit Guide's already told you that target letters went out in December. And the Spirit Guides predicted a lot of this. They predicted that in the spring of 2024, that the Congress people would start to feel the heat and they would start retiring or dropping out. Now, right now we have like 20 plus Congress people. I think even in the House alone, it's over 20 people that are Republicans that are not going to run. Mitch McConnell just announced he's not running. They're feeling the heat and they're dropping out. This is exactly what the spirit guides told you was going to happen. So this is before all these target letters even go out. I got energetically 3 target letters went out in December. I am not supposed to know who they are. They won't tell me who they are. Potentially, I'm laughing because the way they just gave me this information. Potentially Matt Gaetz, potentially MTG, potentially Grassley, potentially Jordan, potentially Fobert, Polly, and there's others, but the usual suspects. Let's just, for instance, just start with the Freedom Caucus. Just start with the Freedom Caucus. They just showed me, and I know that McCarthy's no longer in there, but you're not immune. That's the other thing they said. These people are going to be retiring so that they don't get investigated. Like, if I'm not part of Congress, then surely they're not going to come after me because I'm not a target. I'm not a political hit job. Y'all, Jack Smith and Fani Willis don't care if you're in Congress or not. They don't care if you go home and join and become a scout leader. They don't care, okay? They're going to come after you. Justice will find you. Wherever you are, justice will find you. So why did I bring up McCarthy? Because I feel like he's going to be a witness. He has specific knowledge that is important to a case. He can attest. He has eyewitness evidence. He saw things with his own eyes. He can attest. He saw text, not text that he did, but text that came. Somebody else said, look at this text on my phone. The information was so hot. They didn't want to send the text. So they just showed people the text. Your eyeballs are now evidence. Yes, I saw the text. Yes, it said this. McCarthy's going to be wrapped back up in this. This is going to be on fire in April, in April, May, June, July. This is going to be on fire. You're going to watch this on the news every day. Every day there's going to be seemingly every day there's going to be a new development in the case, a new witness, a new target letter, indictment, a new statement. Now, I think Fani Willis, I really think it's 95% chance that she's going to be on the case. And if she's on this case, woe be unto those. Woe be unto those that broke a law. Because she will be, if you think she was focused and laser ready to take these people down before, we're talking a whole nother order of magnitude. She will not sleep. She will literally not eat or sleep to take these people down. She will have there's a new energy because she understands that Jack Smith's case has been taken offline. She's going to feel more like there's more onus on her. Like she has to now work harder. Now, what happens if she gets taken off the case? If she gets taken off the case, I don't think she will. They're telling me she won't. But if she does, the case is definitely going to flounder. It's going to flounder. But justice is going to prevail. So in this weird, and anything is possible right now, you guys, with this eclipse energy, anything is possible. Anything is possible. So it will flounder, but justice prevails. I feel like it's almost like the energy suggests like a person gets thrown out of a boat into rough seas. That would be justice. That would be the Atlanta case. And I feel like somebody comes along, scoots them up, and puts them in a different boat. So to me, that means the case gets, thrown out, but then it starts again with somebody new. Now, if you guys are thinking we don't have time, we have to do this by the election, that's a false narrative. That's what the media wants you to think. The election is not That is not our timeline. Trump is going out. He's a distraction. He's going out. I do believe the Democrats are going to win the presidency. For new viewers, I have seen way back when Biden first chose his vice president before he won the election. And mind you, all of us have been predicting these things. All of us have a really good track record with this. If you're hearing it from me and 3 other psychics or tarot readers, it's, 95, 98% going to happen. Okay. But what I've seen, and I've heard this from other people, I don't know if I've heard it from the majority of us, but I've heard it from others. When I saw Kamala Harris, I heard she was going to be president. Now, I don't think she's going to be president through an election. I feel like at some point, Biden is going to step down. Kamala Harris is going to step in. It has to do with karma. Just like Biden's role was to be president. And president right now. That's why he didn't win all those other times. Because it wasn't his time. This is his time. But it's also written, with what I hear written, that means karmic. You signed the contract before you came down here in this incarnation that Kamala is going to be president. I think there's less than 20% chance that she won't be president. And I think that's 80% that she's going to be president. If she's president, it's because she's the law and order president. That's what they call her. Because she's presiding over a particularly raucous time in our democracy, meaning that it's sort of like the 1960s and 70s where people are in the streets, people are upset, people are feeling like they're not being heard, their voice isn't being heard. What did we start this video out with? The malcontents, the discontents, the people who are saying, I don't have a home in the Republican Party. I don't have a home in the MAGAs. I don't have a home in the Democrats. Everybody's upset. Nobody's getting what they want, except for everybody is getting chaos, which is exactly the goal of these external countries. They want us to be in chaos. They don't necessarily want Trump to win. Didn't Putin come out and say he didn't want Trump to win recently? They don't want Trump to win. They want Trump to be a chaos agent. They want us to be feeling and looking like we're out of control. Like right now, our Congress couldn't vote Ukraine funding. We look weak to the international community. We look not like the world leader. That's exactly what Putin wants. He created enough chaos in our country and put these chaos agents in power in the SCOTUS, in the Congress, in the federal courts, all the way down to the FBI, CIA, Secret Service. They're everywhere. Stooges. I think that means spies. I don't know. He put stooges in, is what they're saying. So it's not about the election. It's about control of the United States of America. And they have a lot of control. Do they not? I mean, if Trump disappeared tomorrow, we still got SCOTUS that isn't working. We still got Mike Johnson. If McConnell really does leave in November, we still got a screwed up Congress, right? So we have work to do. Trump is the distraction. Don't waste your energy on these particular problems. What is going to happen is that for everything that I've seen, at one point the guides also used the metaphor of the table flip, and people said, and I'm getting this, so I'm saying, because I'm channeling, I'm not religious. I have been to a church, less than the years I've been on earth. So there's this sense of Jesus going in and flipping the table, right? Of Jesus getting upset at whoever he was upset at. I don't know, but it's justice. The energy is justice for the small people, justice for the humans against these powerful, entities. That is the Capricorn energy that we came back into, that we're dealing with right now. Then we're going to go out of the Capricorn energy into the Aquarian energy, which is power to the people, egalitarian. Not power up here, structure, but power down here. What happens when you take power up here and you move it down here? You dissolve. Dissolution. Dissolving. What are we dissolving? Structures. SCOTUS. Congress. The presidency. What's happening right now? They're hearing, SCOTUS is hearing whether a president can be immune. That's dissolving. That's remaking, reconstituting everything. We're going to go back. We're going to look at free speech amendment. We're going to go back and look at the Second Amendment. We're going to go back and recreate a better document, a better constitution, a better amendment. It's a living document. It's meant to be amended. That's why we have the amendments. Now, how we get there is people like Fani Willis, people like Tish James, people like Alvin Bragg, people that we don't even know yet. I sense states, and right now they're reminding me that some states have come out just recently and said, Trump is not allowed to be on our ballot. So these states, it's wild because some states are saying we're all for Trump and nobody else. And other people are like, well, we're not going to put him on our ballot. It's absolutely crazy. Actually, also the other thing that's happening is that some Republican primaries, they're having two primaries. The Republican Party is so split that they're having two primaries. It's absolutely the dissolving of everything so that we can figure out what we want, what we don't want, what worked, what didn't work. What do the humans want? We're going into the age of Aquarius. This is going to take a while. This isn't going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in 6 months or a year. This is a process that's going to take many years, but we're starting the process because people are really getting full. They're getting full of this shenanigans, of these politicians acting like narcissistic babies, of taking away a woman's right, of making embryos human. We didn't seem to understand the implications when they made corporations people. We didn't seem to care. Again, we're complicit. But what's going to happen is, as we go into this Aquarian age, people are going to wake up and go, what is happening? My country is messed up. It's like when you've been in your bedroom and a whole bunch of kids have been having a party and you didn't even know it. And you come into your house and it's all crashed. And you're like, what is happening? What do you got to do? Clean it up. So I feel like these states are going to start going after the Congress people. The Congress people are going to get target letters, which is when the prosecutor says, hey, I'm investigating you. Heads up. They don't have to do a target letter, but they often do. They're going to be put on notice. From there, it's an actual indictment. When they get the indictment, that's when discovery happens. That's when they can find out what that prosecutor has against them. And then they can lawyer up and they can start doing whatever they're doing. The guides are saying right now, because you might be asking the same question that I did, which is, why send somebody a heads up? Why show your hand? Well, because when you give these big dummies a heads up, you know what they do? They start calling all their friends. Hey, you got to hide. I'm getting investigated. Hey, my accountant, send all that money to Switzerland. Hey, my side chick, my side man, delete all them texts. They're going to start criming because the cover up, more often than not, is the thing that brings people down more than the actual crime. So they're going to start covering up. And that's what all these prosecutors are waiting for, is the cover up, because that proves you did the crime. So yeah, give them a heads up. Let them start making them phone calls, sending them text, moving that money. All the better. All the better. So this summer is the summer of justice. This is the summer of justice. Justice is uneven. We're going to win some, we're going to lose some. We're going to lose some big ones. We're going to win some big ones. Life is not fair. Justice is not fair. So it would be helpful for all of us If we adjusted our expectations, understand democracy survives, we all get through this, but we do need to see just how bad it is. We have to see it. You and I see it. You and I see it. But the majority of Americans don't see it. They're not involved in politics. They don't even know what's happening. They don't think it affects them until all of a sudden, all that money they spent on that IVF, in vitro fertilization, is gone because they can't even use those eggs. $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 gone overnight because you weren't voting, because you didn't pay attention, because you thought the Republicans weren't so bad. You think you're going to have an attitude change? I think you might. I think you might. You might get real mad. I know in the last 10 years since Obama, since the Affordable Care Act, a lot of people that I knew became Democrats overnight because they could get insurance, because they had small businesses. These policies work. Biden's policies are coming online. The economy is good. People are going to have a better and better, more positive opinion of Biden. He is working in the darkness. One of the reasons why I didn't post those videos too, because I was really harsh on Biden until the guides got a hold of me. He's working in the darkness. I think this is a Scorpio thing. I don't know, but he's doing this stuff behind the scenes. It's like, you don't necessarily need to see how your meal is made. It might be messy, whatever. But when it's presented, it's beautiful on the plate. It tastes good. And that's really all you care about. Biden is doing this work in the dark. He's doing 5D chess. He is going to be outwitted. I got to tell you guys, this is another reason why I was mad. I see him being tripped up. They will trip him up. This is going to be pretty god awful. What we're going to see come out, and whatever you've seen so far with Hunter Biden is nothing compared to they're going to pull all the stops out. It's going to be fake. It's going to be deep fake. It's going to be fake video, fake audio. It's going to be fake everything. Just like Fani Willis, we're going to drag her through this mud. We're going to make her stop. We're going to exhaust her. We're going to scare the hell out of her because we can't. They're going to do the same thing to Biden. That makes me feel some kind of way. It probably makes you upset too. But in the end, whatever happens, it's going to be okay. Biden is the one we have. He's here for a reason. His frailty, his warts, everything, his godlight, all of it. He's the one that brought us to dance. We're going to dance with him. It's the same thing with Kamala. If she becomes president, she's there for a reason. Trust me on that. So if something crazy happens, I want you to calm down. Everything is in hand. This is what the guides always say to me. Everything is in hand, Susan. It looks crazy, feels crazy, but it's in hand. It's all happening for a reason. Why did Jack Smith go to the Supreme Court and say, hey, I want you to go ahead and hear this? Because he didn't want to get all the way to November and then have them hear the case. He wanted to know what his hand was. What is the hand I've been dealt? What are the cards that I can play? And what are the cards I cannot play? Now he knows I cannot play Trump card. Can't play that card. It's not the end of the world. He's going to go back to his office and he's going to take that great big investigative cannon and point it at somebody else and scare the living daylights out of them. He's going to go for new people. And he's already got, it's done. They're showing me it's done. The cases are done. All he had to do was no. Tell me yes or no so I can move on. Stop playing me. Yes or no. Okay, it's no. Fine. Fine. I'm going to go over here and go to plan B, which is congressional members and judges and possibly they're sort of like ambassadors. I don't know who they are. They're ambassadorial staff is what they just said. I don't know who those people are, but they are crooked and they are working against the United States of America. And this is why Jack Smith is in his role, is for the United States of America. So maybe this all makes sense, right? Maybe this all makes sense. If Trump is going out anyway, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, if he's going out, maybe this is a blessing that Jack Smith doesn't spend all his precious time and energy trying to prosecute him, because it doesn't matter. It's really better for Jack Smith to spend all this precious time and energy before the election on people who really could be winning elections. Doesn't that make sense? To me, that's it. That's the whole key. I don't know what I just said, but that's the whole key. That's it. That's why Jack Smith did it. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And it's going to make a difference, because once he investigates these people, these congressional people, they're going to be retiring. They're going to be retiring. That investigation goes very quickly. I mean, very quickly. Like I'm saying, it starts. Yeah, this is what I saw months ago. It starts in April, perhaps, maybe even May. When I say it starts, what I mean is you get an indictment in April, May at the least, at the latest. And then you're on trial by August. And you convicted by my birthday in September. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. I can live with that. See, this is why I needed to do this video 3 times, because it took 3 tapings and hours of editing to come to the realization that they even called me out and said, Susan, you're too upset. Calm down. They did it in this video. It's hyperbole. They did it in this video. So I'm glad I did it. I'm glad that I've calmed down, because now it makes sense. And now I'm not as upset. Even if Fani gets taken off the case, Jack Smith is on the case. E. Jean Carroll has decimated this man. Everything is in hand. Just remember that. Everything is in hand. Justice is in hand. And then meanwhile, wear your amethyst. Wear your amethyst. Damn, this thing hurts. Look at that. You don't want to put that somewhere fragile. Woo! Lord of mercy. Okay. Wear your amethyst. Get your nature's relaxer on. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself, because this is the whole summer. It's the whole summer. We're going to be up on a high. McConnell left the Senate. We're going to be down on a low. SCOTUS is hearing the case. We're going to be high, low, high, low. They done told you, roller coaster. They done been telling you. So now we know. Let's take really good care of ourselves. Really, really good care of ourselves, okay? Take really good care of yourselves. I'll see you again real soon. I've got a lot going on this week. I have a Healing with Sybil on Sunday night. I have a really cool political video I'm doing live on Monday night with Jen Lynn and Johnny with Tarot's Apprentice. Love them. It's going to be radical. Join us. We're going to have fun, but we're going to tell it like it is, which is my favorite way to do a political video. Okay? Take really, really good care of yourselves. I'll see you guys real soon. Leave me your comments. Subscribe if you haven't. Share this video if you feel courageous. I'll talk to you guys soon. For entertainment purposes only.